$20,000, a little more than $20,000. And those things are going to be, basically, we are promoting membership as well as training, improving our websites more, and trying to get some of the district leadership, more of the district leadership, to the zone conferences and some of the things. But in order to make Rotary more, make people more aware of Rotary and the things that Rotary is involved in, basically promoting, improving membership and improving our website and promoting public image. I don't think we really have time for questions. There's going to be a poll put up. I think Dave's going to put a poll up, and only the president-elects are allowed to vote. So if you're a president-elect, you either need to vote to approve the budget or vote to disapprove the budget. So that's all I have, unless you have something else, Margie.
No, I do not, unless, like I said, I know the budget was emailed on February 24th. I personally haven't seen any emails back, but that doesn't mean that somebody hasn't emailed somebody else that's on the call here tonight. So
give it another minute or two. Well, 30 seconds to a minute. How about that? I know my system is showing 47 because there are 47 people on the call, but a number of us are not eligible to vote. So it's not going to show all 47.
Can we do unanimous consent?
Yes, that's what it's going to wind up being. Right now it is anyway. You've got 27 yes and no, zero no's. So
I put in the chat the Rotary Global Rewards website, so that if you happen to want to look at that, you can. I put that in there for you in the chat.
take another 15 to 20 seconds.
And also, if you're done with the survey and you haven't put your name in the chat, your name, the club that you're representing, and your position moving forward in 2021, if you do that as well, president-elects can just put PE, president nominees can put PN. We're just having to take attendance tonight. And so we thought that would be the easiest way to do it. If you're happened to get on late and wasn't able to do that, we'd ask for you to add that into the chat.
And 10 seconds, and I'm going to end it.
It wouldn't let me hit submit. It's Brian at Hillsborough Fire, president-elect, but I approve.
I'll add one more. We'll say 30. It's a nice round number anyway. Okay.
That, on that global rewards, it's in the App Store, also on both Apple and on whatever the other ones are.
Android.
Androids, yes.
For us non-Apple users.
David, I think there's Dan. I can't see the last name, says he keeps getting kicked off. I can't tell what the last name is, though. I'm guessing it might be Dan Fetchner is what I'm guessing it is. Okay. He says he keeps getting kicked off.
So just to clarify, that was just off of that was just from the call.
Oh, okay.
And I got kicked off, I think twice, probably in the last, say, 6 or 7 minutes. I feel like I in that time, I should have logged on to some other website and taken a survey. Am I missing something, or is that right?
Did you vote on the president-elect? You're president-elect, correct?
I am, and
Okay.
when I signed back in, I saw that I could vote, so I just went ahead and voted yes, because I figured that's how you wanted me to.
That's all we needed was make sure you voted. No matter which direction it was, make sure you voted.
Well, thank you all for voting, and thank you for allowing us to increase our membership, put more money into training, and it's all about District 6060, Zone 31, helping you as club presidents, keeping your training going, keeping you educated, and keeping everything moving forward as we're serving the change lives over this next coming year. So thank you for completing that. And thank you, Tom Sullivan, for coming on. I know you're at home tonight, and I want to thank you for taking the time that all you do for us as the treasurer of Rotary, and we certainly appreciate it, and we appreciate you staying on.
My pleasure. You guys have a good evening. Thank you.
You're not going to stay on for the rest of the meeting?
Gosh, you've made it sound awfully good, and it is fun. I do like all that stuff, but I've got company coming tomorrow, so I've got to help clean house.
Okay, well, we better let you go. We don't want your wife to be upset about that. So
All
well, thank you
righty.
again for coming on. We appreciate it. You have a good evening.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
now
you.
we're going to move on
night.
to the citation, and we're going to have David put the citation up. This citation is something that I think every one of the clubs this year can obtain. In previous years, it seems like the club citation was a little challenging, but this year I think it's going to be very reachable for each and every one of us. What we need to do is to select 13 of the 25 goals that's in the club citation. And so you can start looking at this now. And again, this is available in www.my.rotary.org. This is available in that website. And that's why I keep stressing the importance of having that account set up. But this would be available to you in that area. So anyway, when you need to do is sit down with your club and pick your 13 of your 25 goals, either with your, like I said, with your board of directors, and determine which ones do you want to complete. Now, remember, again, these goals will go into Rotary Club Central, and we'll show that to you in just a second, how to get into Rotary Club Central and put them in. But when you put your goals in, we want you to also to complete them. There's a lot of projects that you're already doing that you can use here for your goals for this citation. Let's just talk about like club membership. You know, each and every one of us is going to bring in a couple of new members. We want each one of us to bring in, well, my club has about 60 members. So I'm supposed to tell you I'm going to bring in 60 members this year. I hope my club can do it. I know they can, but let's just say we don't. Well, we probably will put in there, say 20 or 25 possibly. So we will review this every quarter to make sure that you are moving forward to reach your goals. If we move on down the list and where you see district conference attendance, well, you know, in April of next month, we're going to be having a district conference, and you can view that as your club meeting. So right there, you can have, you know, your entire club watching that, so that you can put your goal in there. District training participation. Each and every one of you is going to be on April 17th when John Wiedemeyer, our district trainer, presents his training. Right there, you can have one of those goals met that quickly by just attending that technology training. These are goals that I think that moving forward that we've all feel like we can achieve. We have polio. As you know, this upcoming year, we're wanting to try to increase the givings for polio. Polio has gone so well, but they are asking for each one of the clubs to be able to raise about $1,500 to put towards polio eradication. We're doing very well in that field, but we do want to keep moving forward and have a couple of fundraisers. And Tom Drennan, our current district governor, is putting together a couple of fundraisers for next year because he will be our polio chair, and he's been it in the past. So he'll be hosting 2 fundraisers for all of us to participate in to help increase our funds for polio. Then you move on down, you see service projects. All of us are doing service projects. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things we're already doing that I think we can keep doing, and you'll be able to reach these goals very easily. But you do need to actually sit down with your club and talk to them about what are going to be your goals, which ones are you going to reach for, and which ones are you actually going to do. So now I'm going to let David Robinette, and he's going to bring up the Rotary Club Central. And we're going to talk, he's going to kind of show you how to enter your goals and enter a club project.
So Margie, are these goals that we would enter there for our year, 21, 22, even though these examples that you said, like district conference in April, would be for 2021?
Right. Yeah. So this would be for 21, 22 that you're entering them for. And I believe, I mean, my understanding is you have access starting July 1 to enter your goals. Or do you know, David, if the access is now, or does it wait till July 1? I think you're muted.
That's what I have 3 different mute buttons. I had 2 of the 3 clicked. One was not. You will be have access to it before July 1, but I do not know how long before.
Okay, I'll check on that to make sure, because that is something we probably all should know when you have access.
So the idea for the goals, and I am, one of my duties is I'm an assistant Rotary Regional Foundation coordinator. I serve 3 different districts here in Missouri, the 3 Missouri districts. One of them is putting in the goals. I have 2 clubs that are 2 districts that are not really doing that great. They have less than 30% of their clubs have the foundation goals. Makes a big difference. So to get to the goals to begin with, you go to manage. From manage, if I can get it to behave, club district administration, club administration.
David, not to interrupt, but Devin Miller's trying to get back on.
Okay, should not be an issue.
He's back on now, he said.
Okay. This is where you can adjust variety of things within your membership and so on like that. Rotary Club Central itself has its own website, our own portion of the website. May have to log me in again. Don't worry about that. You two will seriously will get this. Putting the goals in is real simple. I know Brian is on from our club, and I know Jerry Nolan is on from our club, and I'm going to use our club. This gives basically the data. Goal center is where you want to be. The first thing you want to do, because you are talking about next Rotary year, this defaults to the current year. You want to move it to the 21-22 year. We don't have any goals selected. Isn't that amazing? Because we haven't done it yet. So we want to add in the goals. When you do the club and when you do the membership and the goals, this gives what it is, what you have. What you can do is to start to input, and right now we can't yet. So this is where it's kind of held up, but I will walk through on one that our club has done. Membership. You can edit anything you want. So you go in and edit. We decided we wanted 2 new members. We're not there yet. If we were to get 2 new members, very simple. You can highlight that. And you want to change your goal. I'm going to do that. We want to change it to 19 because we know we're not going to get anything else. I am not going to change it. You hit save. That is as simple as doing a goal. Yes, I know it won't be. The biggest thing I want to show you on any of the goals right now, you'll notice district conference attendance. We don't have anything yet met because guess what? We don't have anybody there yet. We have not had it. This is the history of how many people have showed up over the years to a district conference. It gives you a 5-year look back. So you can kind of get an idea when it comes time to put the goals in. When you're doing a service activity, and I will add this one in, our club is going to be, one of our club members is a pharmacist, and we will be doing a service project. I want to say it is April 10th.
Well, why don't you provide us the address and we'll all be there to get a vaccine.
That is not up to me to do, and I'm not going to go there. I may be stupid, but I ain't that stupid. So the project timeline, we put the word out. Actually, it will be in their newsletter on Monday, the 22nd. It will end on the date of. The number of volunteers, we want 5. Volunteer hours, I don't know how long. I'm going to guess for a minute here. It's 6 hours times 5 people is going to be 30 hours. Cash contributions, there's nothing needed. It doesn't take points. Donated goods and services, there's nothing there. Additional project details. What category is this in? This could fit a number of them. This could be community. This could also fit one of the areas of focus. Disease prevention and treatment. That would be my guess as to what it is. We're working with a partner, and it would be other. And because we're working with state of Missouri with this and the local pharmacy. It is that easy to set up an event. I go in there and I hit save. Now, we have 2 projects. Our CAP grant is complete. This one's ready to go. Once we get past April 10th, well, we had 5 people come and we had 3 more that came just in case we needed extra help or somebody needed a break or whatever. So we had, instead of 5, we had 8 there. So 6 hours. I am not good at math, so we're going to say 46. I know that's right. Didn't need anything here, so that wouldn't matter. This all stayed the same. I hit project complete. I'm going to hit cancel because we have not done it yet. And as soon as you hit save with all of that, it will show up as being completed, just like the one that we did for our CAP grant. Entering a service activity is very quick to do. You can go back and repeat up to the limit that we are allowed to. You can do it as a club. You can repeat all you want. CAP grant, we're allowed 1 plus 2 others. So a total of 3. Entering the goals, again, is very simple. The foundation, let me give this to you. You put your goal in. Rotary then tracks how much of what you've done. This you cannot change. Rotary tracks that based upon the club contribution. Already gone over the service, what we've done. We've done 1, we put in 1 goal. Now, we've already achieved that. Public image, I'm going to show this to you real quick. Those of you that have a strategic plan, you can check it off. You've already done it. You have online presence, a social media page, LinkedIn, whatever it might be. Check it off. You've already done it. Have you done social activities already? You get credit for having fun. Update the website and social media. Yep, we've done it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If there are any questions on it, please give me a holler. Talk to Margie, talk to John. Anybody else, I know it was very quick, but we can walk you through it. And it's not as difficult as it looks. Trust me, don't get scared.
And there's actually a form that I'll be sending out to you that is step-by-step directions of how to enter something for the club projects. Also, there's a form, a service project form that I developed. Really, I developed it for my club, but I'll be happy to share it with anyone. I have shared it with a few of you. And what I do, when I know there's going to be a club project coming up, I email it to the chairperson of that particular project. That way they can kind of keep a track of this information, how many volunteers and all that sort of thing. So that way, when it comes time for the president to enter it, they got the information. One year, it's really hard to go back when you've done a project, say like last year, October, and then you're trying to put it in now. You can't remember how many volunteers, how many hours. So I put a service project form together, and that really has worked out well. So I just email it to the person that's going to do it, or some of them that don't do the internet, then I just hand that to them so they can actually begin collecting that information and then give them that to the club president, and then the club president can enter it. It works really well. And that way, if you want to talk about potentially the kind of money that they've spent, you we might remind them to keep receipts just so they have a better idea of the actual value, and the data is a little more accurate. So anyway, that works out really well and has worked out really well for our club. So anyway, any questions with the Rotary Club Central there entering? And like I said, we'll send you a complete description step-by-step of how to do that as well. I can only see here one screen, so let me slide over to the other screen to see if anybody has any questions here. So, okay, moving on. District conference. I can tell you, I'm very, very excited and really pushing hard, because next year in April, the district conference is going to be hopefully in person. I am really, really, really going to push everyone to make sure that that conference is in person. Now, I know this year it's virtually, and that's great, because that's what we have to do for right now. But next year, I'm looking forward to be in person. I got a couple of sites that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the Holiday Inn in South County, as well as a Festus Hotel in Festus, Missouri, thinking about having it there. I'm trying to kind of have it in the center of the district. So I'm really, really working hard to try to have that in person, so that we can all share and get together in fellowship and try to have a really good time at that particular conference. The last in-person conference, John Wiedemeyer's, which was actually in Washington, and it was an amazing event. Kept you very motivated. You had a lot of great speakers, an incredible venue, great food, lots of good entertainment, lots of activities, a lot of information. It was a great, great session. So I'm hoping that's the way we're going to get back to next year in April. So it's actually April 23rd is the date of the conference of 2022. We try to keep that date. We used to have them in the fall, but we moved them to the spring. And so, but then this fall, of course, they'll have their annual year-ending reward session like they normally do, and all that for this year yet. But we used, like I said, we used to have them in the fall, and they moved it to the spring. So Tom Drennan, your current district governor, he'll be having his next month in April for that entire week that you probably have gotten a card about, and have probably seen that, and hopefully you've all registered to participate in that as well. So, but April 22nd of 2022, plan on getting out and seeing folks, and getting together and talking face to face. Club officers, I want to make sure that you as club presidents or president-elects, that you have been looking at the club officers and you know who's going to be your club officers, because you need to have a club president after you, so a president nominee. You need to have someone that's going to be taking the position after you're done. And you need to make sure you have a club secretary. You need to make sure you have a club treasurer. Again, a membership chair, a foundation chair, a polio chair. These are all important seats to make sure that you can fill and have in your club. Sometimes I know it seems like some members seem to repeat the positions over and over. And sometimes it might be a good idea to approach somebody after they've had a few years, and maybe potentially, if you don't think they're doing such a great job, maybe assign them to something else. Maybe their passion is somewhere else, and not that particular position any longer. It's hard when you have someone that's had the position for a long time, but just maybe you don't think they're fulfilling the duties. So maybe there's something else that you might find that you think would be more of value to them. But it is important to try to get those positions in place. So there's a position for everyone and a job for everyone in Rotary. And so potentially, if you've got some youth, if you do a lot of youth in your club, maybe you should get a youth chairperson. So like I said, all these things are available for you to decide. You as the club president, you are the CEO of your club, and you just need to make it an enjoyable, exciting year. You are to lead your club, as John Wiedemar said in his presentation. It's up to you to lead your club. It's up to you to keep them excited. It's very, very important that you have fun. Just like me in my position, there's sometimes that I'm going through the training and I have to say, I think to myself, wow, this is just, I got 17 months yet. I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy. But I'm loving every single minute of it. And we're all going to do things maybe that we forget about or maybe don't do right. But, I know that behind me, there's an incredible district leadership team. And I know, and I appreciate anytime they text me and say, hey, what about this? Did you think about this? Or did you see what you put on that email? So everyone is here for you. We are all here behind you. We're here to support you. We're here to guide and aid you through the year. Don't be embarrassed to call or email us with any question of concern, because that's what we're here for, is to help you. Because I know the district leadership team behind me, they've not said anything when I've asked any questions. They've been very helpful and provided me with the information. They're probably chuckling behind the scene, but they just haven't said it yet. I'm sure eventually sometime they're going to say, well, why didn't you know that? But, there's just so much information to learn, and I know I've probably heard it, but sometimes you need to hear it 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 times before it really actually sticks. So just remember that we're all here to help each other. So now on the district events calendar, a couple of dates that I also want you to remember is next year, Show Me Rotary, in person and hybrid, on March the 25th and 26th of 2022. Tim Cudd will be the Show Me Rotary president, and he is hoping for it to be at minimum hybrid, but hopefully in person as well. And that's March the 25th and 26th. Also, we're going to continue to host our president-elect meetings moving forward into the year, as well as we're going to be hosting other meetings. So I'm going to have David Robinette put up the survey, because I was trying to decide if you would want to continue with monthly president-elect meetings, every other month, or quarterly. And we have no choice right now but to keep them virtually. But eventually, I would like to meet in person, maybe every other time. I'm not sure. I think we're just going to have to work through moving forward and see what we can do. So on your screen here, you have the option to select monthly, every other month, quarterly, in person, and Zoom. I know for me, I'm going to select in person, but we can't do that for right now. So we'll let you decide on what you want to do there, and then you can just mark your answer and submit it. But we'll continue to meet And we'll have an agenda like I always have in the past. And that way we can share ideas, or if anybody wants to email me with something they'd like on the agenda, we'll do that as well. And that way we can all work together as a team moving forward and be together for each one another. And that way we can help each other with whatever assignment or task, and maybe we want to do a group project together. Who knows? The sky's the limit when it comes to that. So we'll see if Dave's got the results here after that survey.
Well, our quarterly just barely beats out every other month. I mean, literally just barely by one. And Zoom, 42%, in person, 34%. Monthly is lost. I will show the results so you get the idea of where everybody stands.
Okay. I see every other month is 39% and quarterly is 42. I see. Yeah. Great. Well, that's good. So that means that you guys are engaged and that you want to meet again. So that's great. So I'm happy about that. And we'll try to make sure that, you know, of course, we want to make sure each month we have different materials that we'll be able to review, and things moving forward. We want to make sure that, you know, you have information that's valuable for your clubs. And so as we talk about that, you know, as you as club presidents, when I was talking about speakers earlier, you know, Rotary has every month, they actually have a month. It stands for something, like, you know, we have polio month, November's foundation month. Every month they have a theme. So when you're the president, you may want to follow that to help with your speakers, or you may just want to make up your own theme. That's up to you. But Rotary does have a theme for every single month that of the year, and they sponsor something every single month for you to reference. So like March is that we're in now is Water and Sanitation Month, and you have August is membership. Like I said, and you got October is polio. October 24th is actually our World Polio Day. And then you got November, which is foundation. And Linda Pubar is our foundation person on our call tonight. So those are just some things to think about when you're trying to decide who you can have for speakers and where you can get speakers and what would be a good speaker for you to actually have and have for your presentations. So with that in mind, my official district governor visits, I sent out in the mail today actually is the dates for you for my district governor visit. If that date doesn't work for your club, be happy to email me and let me know, and we'll work something out. And I'm going to kind of, like I said, depending on how your club's meeting, either in person, I'll just have to go with that and see what we're doing, and we'll work from there of however your club is meeting and your local health department and CDC guidelines at that time, and we'll see how that's handled. Okay, we're going to move on. We have back with us again is John Wiedemeyer, our District 6060 trainer, and he is going to do a presentation on challenges, goals, and the power of one.
One moment, please. There we are. Thank you, Margie. Yes, we're going to say a few words about challenges, goals, and the power of one in a short period. I think this could be a topic that we could spend a whole day on. But there are many ways each one of us can grow Rotary and make an impact on our organization, whether it be growing our membership, increasing our engagement, achieving our goals. Each one of us can make a difference. As you put together the goals your club will be setting for the coming year of 21-22, be sure you include your members, get everyone involved. We all join Rotary for some personal reason. Are the strengths of your members being recognized? And is your club action plan lining up with the interest of your members? We all have to speak up for ourselves for this to be accomplished. Each one of us has the power to take our club from good to great. Every idea should be heard. We should nurture these ideas and let the common interest bubble to the top. The idea of one member could be your club's best service project yet. Take the challenge of new ideas. Listen to what your newest members have to say. The worst thing in the room is for the guy in the back to say, that'll never work. But if it does, as the president and the presider of that meeting, make sure you turn that comment into a discussion and a challenge. Support the member's idea and recognize that it bears looking into. Again, it might bubble up and it might not work, but don't shoot it down. Don't let it be shot down by somebody that is trying to make a difference. We have tools available to us to take the steps for discovering our members' wants and needs. The RI membership assessment tool and the community assessment survey. You can find these in My Rotary, and Margie's already explained that. They're in My Rotary in the Learning and Reference tab. These are organized methods to help us learn more about our members and the needs of our community. Remember, it's not about what we think is good for our community. It's about what our community would like us to help with. And for our members, it's not about what we want them to do. It's about why did they join Rotary in the first place? Think about that. So in RI, you can use the RI Be a Vibrant Club reference. It's filled with references that I'm talking about. It's the Vibrant Club. So you go to My Rotary, Learning and Reference, Club Roles. It was right there. We saw it before when Dave brought it up. So it's in that same area, but it's called Be a Vibrant Club. Use the power of one to challenge your members. Encourage your members to challenge each other. Get a little competition going. Make it fun, not a chore, and support each other. Every member invite 2 guests. Recognize with an attendance prize. Get some competition going. And as our incoming RI President Shacker has asked us, everyone bring one. Every member increase their foundation giving by 2%. Maybe conduct a special drive or an event to create some excitement about supporting the foundation. Each club increase service projects by 2. Share the ideas of what that new member has offered up as a suggestion. Encourage a new committee to take it on by asking them to chair it. Every member bring a fellow member to the next club event. That's a way to encourage engagement. Increase your Paul Harris Society members by 2. Make a personal ask to regular foundation supporters to commit to an annual gift of $1,000. Many of our members are already at this level and several are even close, but we need to encourage them to make a commitment to join the Paul Harris Society and commit to $1,000 each year. The list can go on, and I'm sure you get the point. Every member in your club is important. Every member has a desire to be a Rotarian in their own way. It's our job to find out and get them engaged. As president, it's your responsibility to lead your members to success. You can't do it alone. You have to lead them, and lead them with conviction and lead them by example. Take on the challenge. Involve your members as you set goals. Advocate to them the power of one as you lead by example. And thank all of you guys and gals for stepping up to take the lead of your club and make the Rotary Year 2021 awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. You know, like I said, we have a lot of work ahead of us, but we have a great theme to move forward in 2021-22. So we have a lot of opportunities out there to embrace the theme and work with our community and our clubs to move forward. A couple other things to mention is, as you know, with the district conference coming up next month, don't forget to email me your bio and that picture that we had asked for, because we're going to do a screen and we're going to display them. So all the clubs, all 51 clubs, is going to be able to see your picture and your bio scrolling throughout that week. So David?
Margie, if I may ask, since I am the one putting it together, and I've done this for past and incoming district governors, and I have no problem doing it for president's nominee, trust me. If you don't submit a picture, I will find one. And it will not be necessarily complimentary. It will come from Facebook or wherever I can find it, and it will be up there. There is your incentive to send me what you want. Actually, a couple of district governors a number of years ago thought I was joking. I wasn't.
So you might just want to send me the picture of your choice, and we'll get that to David. Something else just to remember is, to become a district governor, you just have to be a past president. And we currently are looking for a district governor for the year 2024, 2025, because we have Julie Leverance, who's on here. She'll be the district governor following me. And then we have Valerie. There's Valerie. She'll be the district governor following Julie. So we'll be looking for a district governor for 2024, 2025. And the only qualification, like I said, is you have to be in good standing with Rotary, but you do need to be a past president. So it's something you should think about. When I was sitting there in your position, I was thinking to myself, there is no way I'd ever do that job. But as time went on and years passed, it definitely became an item on my bucket list. And I am so glad I've taken the time, put the application in with the support of my owner Rotary Club, and then I'm able to be here today with you to share the experience and to enjoy this incredible year. So now remember, I want to clarify a couple of things as we're coming to the end of the evening. Remember, we have two different websites. The one is www.myrotary.org. That is the one that you need to set up your account in, and that is the one that you go into and you enter your club projects, you enter your club goals. That's where, and then there's the Rotary Club Centrals through there where you do the Learning Center and you do your club president basics, as well as you enter your grant projects into that system as well. So that is an important aspect to get that set up. And then also, if you go to Rotary6060.org, set up your account if you don't have one, and that is where you can go to clubs, and then you go to district and club database, set up your password to get into there, and then that is where you can view your club members. You can edit, add or delete, update files, phone numbers, addresses, etc. And from there, you can also email all of your club members through the P-mail, as well as you can email other club presidents in our District 6060 area here, which is 51 clubs.
Margie, I think you said district6060.org and you meant dacdb.com. You were just talking about everything about DACDB, but I thought you said district6060.org right before that.
Right. If you go into Rotary6060.org and then go to the top of the bar and you hit club, and then you go down, that's where you can hit the district and club database, and then it takes you to the DACDB.
Or you could just go to DACDB.
Correct. You can just go to DACDB as well. Correct. Some of you might be more familiar with Rotary6060.org. So those are the sites that are very valuable to you. And something else you should also begin now is go into your own profile and update it. Add information in it. Make sure that your address and your phone number and your email is current. So that way, when we're trying to send out emails, that they don't come back to us, because you are the club president. So we're trying to keep in touch with you and provide you with various information that we have here that we want to make sure that you can share with your club. Encourage all of your club members to go in there as well and update their own profiles. Add a picture. Add their information, their classification, what their employment is. Because I know, like now, when we're looking for different positions within Rotary, for example, Tom Sullivan, who's our current treasurer, at some point we'll have to probably have someone else be that club treasurer. And we try to go in there and look and see the different professions to see what who else might be a valuable treasurer. Just like John Wiedemeyer is our district trainer. If we want to add some people to his team, would be a great way to go in there and look with some kind of the values that some of your other members have. Who's a good educator? Someone that maybe has been in the educational field in the past. They would be a good presenter and a good educator. So those are things of just to share with your own club. I know one year, one of these citations had that you needed to make sure all of your club members actually had an account in My Rotary. I think it was 2 years ago they had that. That was great when everybody did that. It was wonderful because people got in there and they became familiar with it and they were able to add a lot of information. So those are just a couple of things to keep in mind that you can ask your current club to do. You might even one day at one of your meetings get on the system and start letting people update their system, have a computer set up. Have a computer set up at your club so that if the club members want to go back and, sit back at the table and update their system, maybe update their address or their phone number or whatever it might be, or email. That way you're there to help them and they don't feel so isolated at home trying to do it. And maybe their internet at home is not quite as accessible as it may be at one of your club meetings. So those are just some takeaway items that you can share with your club members, and hopefully it'll help you to make your year more successful, because you yourself might want to send out invitations for maybe your installation. And that would be a great way to get all that information right off of there, unless you hand them out personally if you're doing an in-person club meeting. So with that, hopefully tonight you've had a time and you've gotten some information that you can take back to your clubs, and it's valuable to you as club president, and you'll move forward in your year and you'll be able to share this information with them. Hopefully tonight you've got some value out of it. We're kind of going to be getting to a close here a few minutes early. We're going to go ahead and take questions here in a couple of minutes. If there's anything that you would like to see in the future, please send me an email. I'd be happy to do that. And then we have our next session, which is next Thursday. Of course, we're going to be hearing from Ryla and several other things. So we'll want you to join us again next Thursday at 6 o'clock. We'll have the same kind of a criteria, and we'll try to go through the agenda as quickly as possible so that we can get you all out of here on a reasonable time. And then, of course, you have Saturday Show Me Rotary on the 27th. And that's an all-day event as well, 9 to 4:30. And then after that, you can jump for joy. You are then glorified club president for your club. So anyway, moving forward, we're going to go ahead and take questions for a few minutes here, and then we'll sign off after that.
I believe Jeff had a question he put in chat that he wanted to ask something as we were wrapping up.
Yes, actually, just a comment. Thank you very much. Really enjoyable. And I took like 4 pages of notes, and I'm not a big note taker. So there were 3 things that really stuck out that I think are going to help me, Margie. One was get rid of the elevator speech, and the why I stay in Rotary is one. And then John mentioned people don't join Rotary to sit on the sidelines, which is really huge for me thinking to get people involved. And then what our community would like us to help with as far as a good idea that the community can get behind from that standpoint. And then one, I guess just a happy comment or whatever, for our club, we do scholarships every year, and we were extremely fortunate this year. Someone that graduated from the 90s had trouble going to college, went to Northwestern, and we opened the mail and we had a $43,000 check from them. And I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but I mean, he said, please, once again, it was so tough for us to go to school and get funds or whatever, and you guys thought of us and helped us, and I just want to help others at this time. So anyway, that was exciting for us. So
that is exciting.
Yeah,
that is
that's
great. Well, thank you for the compliment about tonight, and hopefully that will be the way the year will be for you, is valuable information and information leading forward. But I'll be honest, I can't take the glory about the sales speech. I actually stole that from John Wiedemeyer. I took that from him because we were talking on the phone one day or by email, I'm sure which, and he mentioned that. And I'm like, oh, what a great idea. So I stole that from John Wiedemeyer there. So that's where that came from. But one final note I did forget to mention is June 26th is going to be my installation. And it's not just my installation as district governor, it's also your installation as president-elect, and assistant governors are all going to be installed that night, as well as Julie and Valerie are all going to be installed that night. And that's June 26th. I'm afraid it potentially is going to be virtual. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm still holding out for a couple of more weeks, but it probably is going to end up being virtual. I'm going to have a dynamic speaker, either in person or virtual, and we're going to do an installation so we can all do that together as a team. But thank you, Jeff, for those kind words. I really do appreciate it. Any other questions anybody else may have? You can just unmute. I'm trying to go through the list here. One last thing too is I know Linda Pubar had asked anybody that has their memorandum of understanding if they try to get that back to her. I know she needs those to finish up her grant qualifications for her information for the year as well. So if you have those, try to get those back to her as well. So
Margie, this is
yes.
Julie. I just want to recognize all of the assistant governors who are on the call tonight. And many of you may not know, as president-elects, your assistant governors are here to help you and support you. And Margie has done a tremendous job of engaging assistant governors and helping to prepare them so that they can be your right-hand persons as you go into this next year. So thank you for being here tonight, assistant governors.
Thank you. And remember, we have a couple of president nominees on the call as well. So we thank you for being on tonight as well and joining us and being a part of this as moving forward in the year ahead. So thank you to David Robinette for the IT behind the scene. Everyone else on the call that's made things so special tonight and worked out so well. Thank you to John Vietmeyer for your presentations. They were excellent. Stacy Self behind the scene, trying to help us get little things organized and moving forward. Julie and Valerie and everyone else that's been there for us and making things run smoothly. So it's a lot of production, quite frankly, on a Zoom call, all the scripts and all the behind the scene IT. So it really is a little bit of a juggling act to get everything to work out, and the screen shares and Thomas Sullivan coming on at and doing the treasurer's report. So anyway, but thank you to each and every one of you. I'm just so honored to be your district governor. Can't wait to be a part of you and help you in any way possible. So like I said, if you have any questions, send an email. Otherwise, I'll see you next Thursday at 6 o'clock. I'm sure you'll be hearing from me before then, though. So
Great night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
thank you very much. Thank you. You have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Margie. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Wonderful job.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Margie.
much. You're welcome. Thank you.